introduce myself first. My name is Sharon. I work at Keck Graduate Institute as a senior admissions outreach representative. I work with students in various parts of the nation and the world regarding application requirements and just really the admissions process, and just to talk about the programs that we offer at KGI as well. I want to hand it off to Catherine, but after that, go ahead and introduce yourself, Nelson, and we'll get to know you a little bit too.
Thanks, Sharon. Yes, thank you, Nelson, for being here. My name is Catherine Lawborough. I also work in the admissions department, primarily with our international students, kind of assisting any interested students with kind of what the visa process looks like, regulations for your visa, those steps. And then also I work with our PA students. So kind of I dabble in a few different areas, but I'm here to assist with any questions that you have about transitioning as an international student, and welcome any questions that you have.
Thank you, Catherine. Nelson, if you're able to unmute yourself, I know it might be difficult if you can't, if you don't have access to mic right now, the microphone. If you could introduce yourself, if not, if you can just type in the chat where you're calling from, what your major is or your program is that you're taking right now, and what some of the things you're interested in learning about at KGI today.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, okay. So thank you. It's really for being the only one here. However, I'm in Ghana, West Africa, and graduate school, being MPhil, and can you hear me? Is it loud enough?
I can hear you, yeah.
Yeah, so I said I'm in Ghana, West Africa, and I am doing my MPhil program, and I'm looking forward to applying for the MH program.
MH program.
So, yeah, so for 2022, forward to apply for the MH.
Great, that's perfect. Okay, thank you so much for that information. It helps me really understand what programs to talk more about. And since it's just only you, I don't want to waste your time. I don't know what time it is there, but hopefully it's not too late for you or too early.
It's 12 a.m. Yeah.
It's 12 a.m.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Oh,
Wow.
it's very early in the morning for you. Okay, I'll let you go to sleep soon. So let's go and let's get through this information so you can get some sleep.
Okay.
Thank you for being here though. I'm very appreciative that you are here right now. So a little bit about, you're welcome, a little bit about Keck Graduate Institute. If you're not familiar with KGI, or Keck Graduate Institute, we are a graduate school. We are part of the Claremont Colleges. We focus solely on the applied life sciences. So let me talk a little bit about the Claremont Colleges first. We are a proud member of the Claremont Consortium, who along with other graduate level university and 5 undergraduate schools make up a beautiful and welcoming collegiate environment from students from a variety of diverse backgrounds. The Claremont Consortium is made up of 5 undergraduate liberal arts colleges, which are listed on the bottom: Pomona College, Pitzer, Claremont McKenna, Scripps, and Harvey Mudd. Those are our 5 undergraduate institutions. And then we have 2 graduate institutions, which is Claremont Graduate University. And the newest addition, which is us, KGI, is the second and newest addition to the Claremont Consortium. And again, like I said, we focus solely on the applied life sciences. We are the only graduate school in the entire nation to focus on the applied life sciences. So what does that mean? Well, we know what life sciences are. So that's the study of life, biochemistry. But now there's also applied life sciences. So applied life sciences is utilizing that research for the sake of providing a commodity or a service to help benefit society. So that's generally in the forms of pharmaceuticals, biologics, medical devices, or medical diagnostics. So when we're talking about pharmaceuticals, those are typically ingestibles, right? Like Tylenol or aspirin. Painkillers are generally ingestible pharmaceuticals. Then we have your biologics, which is biotechnology, and that's the use of biological processes, organisms to manufacture products to improve the quality of life. Biologics are usually injectables. It can be injected or intravenous. Biologics can come in the forms of vaccines. As we've seen with the recent vaccine development, that's a form of biologics, the COVID-19 vaccine. And then we have your medical devices and medical diagnostics. Medical devices and diagnostics can be anywhere from in vitro diagnostics, neuromodulator, stimulation. Additional device categories can range from patient monitoring to life support. Even contact lenses and glasses are a form of medical devices. So now that we know the area of biotechnology and applied life sciences, let's look at the opportunities in the life sciences. So the opportunities in the life sciences are growing. As you can see here, the demand for careers in the life sciences will continue to grow steadily. And this is within the United States, within the US. The demand for careers, so for job opportunities in life sciences, will grow in the next 30 years. And as we've seen with healthcare, I'm sure it will continue to be in demand even after the next 30 years as well. And as we've seen with the recent pandemic, the need isn't just for patient care. So it's not just for the doctors and the nurses, which are very much necessary and needed, but the need is for things like vaccine development, and the various aspects of vaccine development, because we know it goes beyond just research and development, but also with regulations. So vaccine development, individualized treatment, individualized patient care. There's so much going on now with genetic sequencing that individualized care is growing. And that's really the forefront in the future of healthcare as well. Biologics, as well as medical devices and beyond. So wanting to look at the MEng program is great. I think that's a big part of vaccine development as well as individualized care, so precision medication. So having that background, and I'll talk more about that program as well. But here in California, so we are located in California. Again, we're part of the Claremont Colleges, which is about 30 miles east of Los Angeles. So we're not too far from LA. The number of life science companies here is growing, and it's steadily growing every year. From Pfizer, so Pfizer was one of the COVID-19 vaccine developers. They are located in California. Thermo Fisher, Amgen, Genentech, all located in California. We are really at the center of research and development and innovation, with California's large concentration of life science companies, and our location in a rapidly growing biotechnology corridor. So the biotech corridor spans from Northern California near like San Francisco area, all the way down to San Diego. That's known as the biotech corridor. And we are right in the middle of all of that, with the growing biotech companies. So you have the ability to be in a close proximity to major biotech industry companies. And also the weather, you can't beat the weather here in California. The weather and location is just an added bonus. So our programs are separated into 3 broad fields. And I say broad because research is pretty broad. Industry just means biotech companies, and then healthcare is very broad as well. But we are able to incorporate biotech and pharma into all of our programs, which is something that other graduate schools don't and can't do. A big part of that is our network connections in the field of biotechnology. So this is a brief snapshot of all of the programs that we offer at KGI. It's grown. I remember when this list, when I started, was a lot smaller. So we've added a lot of new, oh, not a lot, a few new programs. And that's really because of the demand for these programs in the field. And I will go over them individually. But again, biotechnology is incorporated into all of our programs here at KGI. So our research programs that we offer are the Master of Science in Applied Life Science, Translational Medicine, which we partner with City of Hope, and our fully funded PhD program in Applied Life Science. Some highlights of research, so what that really means and what some of the things that we've participated in are therapeutics development, precision medication, so individualized care, with genetic sequencing, and that also falls in industry as well, but more of the research, the background work. Immunotherapy, diabetes and cancer research. We partner with City of Hope, which is a big cancer research facility here in Southern California. It's a hospital, and our students are able to do a lot of their clinical research there. So industry work, again, is really just the field of biotechnology. So a lot of biotech companies, some industry highlights are pharmaceutical discovery or drug development, drug design, bioprocessing. We actually have a bioprocessing center on campus, which is funded by Amgen. It's the Amgen Bioprocessing Center. And that's where you would be located actually with the Master of Engineering in Biopharmaceutical Processing. So that program is very much hands-on, a lot of innovation in that program, especially because we have a lot of biotech backing up that program as well. Medical devices and diagnostics, clinical and regulatory affairs, and biotech management. So healthcare programs here, this is more of your forward-facing practitioners, a lot of white coat professionals. Some healthcare highlights are patient care, of course, healthcare management, medication therapy outcomes, clinical trials and regulatory affairs, and health information technology. Now, to introduce you to some of the graduate programs, and if you are interested in learning more about our graduate programs prior to applying applying to our graduate programs, I welcome you to look more into our summer internship opportunities, our summer programs. This is a list of all of the summer programs we offer, but I want to speak on one in particular, especially since you are looking into the Masters of Engineering program. Oh, you took CBB. When did you take Careers Beyond the Bench? Was that recent?
Yeah, yeah, recently.
Oh, nice. Okay. So what did you think? Was it I'm assuming entirely virtual for you?
Yes, yes. I think it was very fantastic. I think Dr. Kasper and
Yes.
Dr. Kumar. Yeah,
Kumar, yes.
yeah, yeah. I think the only struggle was the time zone. That's all.
Yes,
I us-
yeah.
I usually had to live here, and apart
That
from that, I think it's a great experience, fantastic program for me, especially looking at the the, the the content of the program for CBD, how I really learned a lot from that program. Looking at what I want to do for my career, biotech, I want to get into the biotech industry, and I wanted to know more about what's beyond what I'm doing in the lab,
mm,
benchmark. So, I mean, the title of the program alone got me. So, I just wanted to know what's beyond the bench actually. I'm done with my master's. So,
okay.
yeah, I think I'm
I am ecstatic that you were able to participate and get that experience. It is a great experience. It is very, very different than bioprocessing, which is more of the Masters of Engineering program. So it's a lot of understanding industry. So you do get that background in and working in industry. If you are able to this next summer, apply for the B Suite. I don't know if you applied last year or if you weren't aware of it, but the B Suite program, the bioprocessing summer undergraduate internship program, that is more lined up with the Masters of Engineering program. So if you are more interested in bioprocessing, understanding cell and gene therapy, that's what I would recommend for you. That is offered. I'm sorry, Nelson, did you?
No, I was just trying to agree with that. But I think Kumar mentioned that it's okay for me to go ahead and and apply for the MH program.
Yes.
I was contemplating on which program to take at first
Mm-hmm.
because they all look interesting. As you said, they look interesting. But as I said, I just wanted to know what the prospects are in the field, the biotech industry,
Mm.
beyond one particular field. I just wanted to have a glimpse of what the industry is like. So I feel at the end of the day, I feel like CBD was a way to give me that overview. Yeah, I think it did.
Okay.
But I'm sure if I had taken the B suit also, I would have had the same experience.
Yes, yeah. So they are very similar in that aspect where they both introduce industry and how that biotech plays a big part working in industry in both aspects. So the B Suite program is a little bit different, but there are options to attend online for this next summer session if you are interested. So interns learn basic bioprocessing, and you'll be separated into groups that research and present about monoclonal antibodies, vaccines, cell and gene therapy. You understand upstream, downstream cell purification in regards to a bioprocessing unit. So it's very interactive, very hands-on. If you are able to attend on campus, I highly recommend that you do that. You are able to do that. Otherwise, you can attend virtually. That's also an option for you as well. CBB um, also reviews a lot of the pharmaceutical and biomedical industries. It brings more of the business acumen side of life-saving technologies and how you bring that to market. FDA regulations, quality assurance, quality control, project management, that's all within like the CBB program. So those two master's programs that go hand in hand with working in industry. For the B Suite is the MEng program, and then for CBB is the MBS, the Master of Business and Science. So both very industry focused for having you work in industry. Both great programs. And Dr. Casper and Kumar are excellent faculty. And I think regardless of what program they were teaching, it would be very insightful because they both have been in the field for so long. So our programs have proven rates. As far as average student salary of KGI graduates, it's roughly about 124,000 a year. What I really want to hone in on is our students are working almost immediately after graduation. 90% of our students are employed within 3 to 6 months of graduation. And 33% of alumni have a current salary of 150 or more. And what I want you to take a look at is the trajectory of your income at KGI. So students who go out of KGI working post-graduation, entry level after KGI roughly make about 80,000. But what you want to look at is the trajectory. Students after graduating KGI don't plateau, which is often what ends up happening is students end up, or employees, you end up plateauing at your career, but our students continue to see that trajectory with income 4, 7, and 10 years after working in biotech in their chosen field. And that's so important to see how trusted we are. This is a great also time to network. Our students network within the summer programs, they network within their graduate programs, and we are able to do that because of the connections that we've made within biotech. Again, we are the only nation or the only grad school in the nation to focus on biotech, on applied life sciences. And because of that, we've been able to foster these relationships with these biotech companies. Amgen, who's located in Thousand Oaks here in Southern California, Gilead. We've seen a lot of these companies grow from startup companies as well, such as Kite Pharma, Genentech, to become bigger biotech companies in the nation. We also are, so with Amgen, They are one of the biggest pharmaceutical companies out here in Southern California. That's the company that I was talking about funds, the Amgen Bioprocessing Center on campus, the ABC lab where our MEng students work out of. So Amgen is one of our top employers. We are a talent pipeline for Amgen. They do resume drops frequently. Us, along with UCLA and MIT, is a big talent pipeline for Amgen. So I do welcome you to visit if you have not yet. We do virtual visits as well as on-campus visits. I don't know how feasible that sounds right now for you, but I always want to welcome it regardless of where you are in the world to come visit us. Our next visit day is November 12th in person. We also have a few upcoming events that are all virtual that I welcome you to attend as well. If you are interested in other summer programs, there is a summer program overview, which will go over all of the summer programs in more detail, as well as some application tips, which you probably shouldn't have too much trouble with that since you were admitted into CBB last go around. I'm sure they'd love to have you again. So as far as our application requirements, they vary depending on program, but if Kumar has already recommended you, then I'm sure he's going to waive a few of the requirements for you. So as a summer student, as a summer graduate of one of our programs, you actually are able to get a few of these things waived, such as your application fee, I believe your personal statement, one letter of recommendation, your resume. Those are waived because they were approved as part of your summer application when you completed that as a student. And I'm going to hand it off to Catherine, who's going to talk more about some of the international opportunities and advisement here at KGI.
Thanks, Sharon. I did also just want to know, as far as financial aid, there are opportunities for international students. So there is not a separate application for financial aid. It's reviewed when you submit your initial application for whichever program you're interested in. Our team will take a look at your academic record, any work experience or research experience, and any involvement within your community and leadership experience. And if you are awarded a scholarship, that will be sent with if you are accepted into the program, the financial aid package will also be sent at that time. And in addition to scholarships, we also offer something that's pretty unique to KGI, which is our international student loan. So this gives students the ability to gain, even more just financial options to help support your studies here in the States. And that leads me to kind of the first thing to kind of keep in mind when you are applying to our institution. And I know that kind of once you've honed in on which program you're interested in and you applied, usually it's kind of like your questions are, what are my next steps as an international student? What does that look like? And really the first step after you apply and are accepted would be to work on a financial certification form. So immigration law requires that students are able to show that they have sufficient funds to study with us in the US and that you can support your stay here in the US. So it's really important for you to make sure that you're aware of what the tuition costs are, living expenses are here, because you will be required to show proof of funds, that you have liquid funds really to support your stay here. So you'll be required to submit or complete a financial certification form and submit proof of those finances. Once you have done that and submitted any supplemental documents, from there, I'll be able to work with you to issue what's called an I-20 or a certificate of eligibility. And that gives you the ability to then apply for a visa and attend an appointment. And just so that you know, we set up, meetings so that you kind of understand how the process works. We give tips on your visa interview and just kind of guide you through all of those steps so that you know that you're not alone, that you do have support throughout that, because we definitely understand that it's a lot at first to kind of process. Once you've gone through those steps and you've attended your visa interview and you've been successful with that, from there we work with you to just prepare to join us in the States. We help you with housing, just things to be aware of as you're transitioning, bank, phone, all of those essential items. We assist and walk you through those. And we do host several webinars throughout the year on things to be prepared for, things to know on your journey. And then I'm always available via email for us to connect. Sorry about that. My light goes out. But that's just something to be aware of as far as next steps. And after that, a lot of students also ask, when I do, join you in the States, do I have opportunities to work? And just so that you're aware, when you do join us on an F1 visa, your primary purpose of being in the States is to study. So employment is a little bit restricted in the sense that your employment needs to be focused or it needs to be directly related to what you're studying here in your program. So the only exception to that would be on-campus work. So there are opportunities for you to work in various offices or departments at KGI. And actually something that's also unique is you're eligible to work at the other colleges that are part of the consortium. So there are various opportunities to work, such as a graduate assistant within different offices. So admissions, alumni engagement, student affairs, also working as a research assistant or lab assistant, teaching assistant. So again, many options. There's also an opportunity for you to work to participate in internships throughout your program, and that would fall under curricular practical training. So that allows you to, again, work during your program. Students in our programs are also eligible for what's called optional practical training, which gives you the ability to work up to 1 year post-graduation. And then because our programs are in the STEM field, you're also eligible to extend that optional practical training for additional 2 years. So really, a lot of our students do take advantage of this and are eligible to work up to 3 years in their field after graduation. So this is just kind of a general breakdown. Again, we help walk you through these processes once you are admitted and you're a student, so that you fully understand what these mean, what the regulations are, and just help with any questions that you have. And then support. So as a student at KGI, you have a tremendous amount of support. The Division of Student Affairs supports, motivates, and enhances the personal and professional growth of students and provides a number of resources to aid in success. So it falls into a few different buckets. There's academic support services. So there are peer tutors. We have a writing center. There's a variety of workshops that they host to help you throughout your academics. We also have a dedicated career services team that will put together mock interviews. There's a Resumania where they'll review your resume, give you tips on that. And really just a variety of resources within the career side of professional growth and development. And they also help with student and campus life. So there's lots of opportunities for you to get engaged with your community. And something to note that Sharon mentioned, since we are part of the Claremont Consortium, there's also opportunities for you to engage not only with the international population and domestic student population here at KGI, but also within the 7 Cs in general. So we actually just hosted an event for international students last Friday, just so that you can all get to know each other throughout all of the colleges. So really there is tons of support in all of these areas throughout your career at KGI. And then kind of on that same note is involvement. So KGI provides opportunities and connections to ensure your success as a graduate student. Involvement in KGI's campus activities keeps your campus buzzing, connects you to the larger community, and provides with a well-rounded student experience. So again, there are various clubs and organizations that you can get involved in. They range from professional to social. And we also have a very involved student government team that you're able to get involved with. And you can even, make your stamp on KGI by creating a new club if you wanted to. Something that I didn't touch on in the other section is that because we do have a very involved student government, we also have a cultural diversity chair. So they put on different events that are also geared toward international students. We have a Diwali event coming up. We had a Nigerian Independence Day, Mexican or Hispanic Heritage Month. So just a variety of opportunities. You have a dedicated career student affairs team member for international students, and then also myself to help with any questions that you have, again, regarding visa regulations and requirements. So lots of opportunities to get involved, to get connected and plugged in with your community. And then just know that you have lots of support here as well from various areas and departments at KGI. And so these are just ways that you can engage with us. We have really every single social media platform out there: Facebook, Flickr, Instagram, LinkedIn, I believe podcast. We have a podcast, Twitter, YouTube. So just get plugged in and connected with us. We share lots of stories, information on the research that's happening here at KGI, student successes, all types of things. So we encourage you to get engaged with us on these platforms. And then just keep in touch with us. We have our contact info here. I would say generally email seems to be the easiest way, since especially now Sharon, our outreach teams are always on the road. But I'll also put my email here in the chat if you just want to stay connected. And now, I mean, if you have any questions, we're happy to